Travis Kelce, what's wrong with him, Dianna?
He's old. He's also not the type of player that the Kansas City Chiefs feel that they need to rely on right now. I mean, we've kind of seen glimpses of this in years past where Travis isn't great out of the gate, even last year, this time of year. I remember when he was in New York playing against the Jets, and he was not great.
McShay says he's out of shape, Dianna. I mean, and there's no way keeping the schedule that he's keeping that you can actually be in the gym the way you need to be.
So, Dan, it's a great question because I asked people in that building that this summer, and even I had to do a piece about what this Kansas City Chiefs offseason was like, because they obviously dealt with a lot of different conflict and they had to make decisions, and also just managing this Taylor thing and managing Travis, right? He's going to all of her concerts. And I think we think of a lot of these athletes that put it in your face, their training, who post about it all the time as, well, those are the guys that are locked in, right? Tom Brady, he's the one who takes care of himself because we've seen the documentaries, because we've seen the clips of him. People around Travis tell me he's meticulous. Like, he's just as much of a lunatic about taking care of his body. Even just, I remember opening week, they were playing on that Thursday night game. I was talking to somebody in that building. It was that Tuesday, right? So that's like a typical, tough practice for the Chiefs when they're playing on a Thursday night to open up the week. And this person I was on the phone with was leaving the facility, and it was pretty late. And Travis Kelce was there working with bands, like just doing extra workouts, the week of the game. And I know you hear these stories all the time, first one in, last one out. And, but there's something to that. When you're that good of a player, you've won as much as he has. He's on top of the world. If I'm him, I'm going home and just FaceTiming with my amazing girlfriend. I'm not sitting there working on my bands. But he was doing that. So look, it's just a long way of me saying that I think from the outside, it seems he's really busy doing other things, but the people there tell me he's all in on football. Like, they don't have these kind of concerns with his schedule.
I legitimately thought when you said working with bands that he was doing backup dancing with some bands.
Like bands.
That there was music involved. That's what his offseason has been like. Greg Cote, I want to get your thoughts on something because I'm fairly stunned that over the last couple of years in football, the surest thing that I can know is that Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce is not something that can be stopped by anybody. Over the last couple of years, Travis Kelce plays, and when he plays well. He is not hurt. He is not unhealthy. He is not ill-prepared. And if you target him 13 times, you're going to get 11 catches for 150 yards. Please explain to me what is happening with Travis Kelce being, production-wise, like the 40th best tight end in the league.
Right. Yeah. The last game, he had 4 catches for 30 yards, which was pretty good for him. I think it was better than his first 2 games. I think that he has spread himself too thin. I know Dianna Russini said that she's talked to the Chiefs who say, no, he's still fully committed. I don't know how you can be fully committed when you're globe-trotting to watch your girlfriend perform on stage. The other day, an ad for a new movie comes on, and Travis Kelce is in it. Travis Kelce is now has a part in a horror movie.
FX.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, are you a football player? What are you doing?
I'm with you, Greg. I happen to believe he is the only football player that travels with his offseason.
Look, it seeps into the season as well.
I think that he's older, which people need to recognize. But it is a little concerning. You would have thought that this would have been a perfect opponent for him to start getting some numbers. There's a team that plays a zone. Travis Kelce has made a Hall of Fame career by finding little holes inside the zone and then just running up like 5 yards after that. And it's not happening for whatever reason. But again, he kind of had a real dip in performance before the NFL playoffs last year. And then he put together arguably the greatest postseason that an NFL tight end has ever had.
What are you saying exactly, Greg Cote? Say it plainly.
I am saying that even if not in reality, the optics are bad. The optics, the perception is that Travis Kelce has so much else going on that he's not focusing entirely on football.
He's the same age as Gronk. Gronk retired 6 years ago the first time, and then played a couple more seasons, and then retired again 3 years ago.
I'm not saying he isn't an aging tight end, and maybe all of a sudden he's fallen. Is that what you're saying? All of a sudden.
Well, wait a minute.
he's fallen off the cliff.
Let's be clear on this. Again, if you did not hear Mike, you may have been questioning Travis Kelce at the end of last season, and then during the playoffs, you had a seismic run through the playoffs where he wasn't old during the playoffs.
You had to stop asking questions.
3 games ago during the playoffs. But Stugotz warned you. Stugotz was way ahead of everybody on this. This is Stugotz last Thanksgiving telling you, I know exactly what Greg Cote's opinion is going to be next September.
I got a message for Travis Kelce, Dan, because he's a friend of mine, and I am telling you right now, he doesn't know this is going to happen, but it's about to happen. They lose more games, okay? He has a drop. He has a big fumble in that game last night. Big turnover, okay?
Yeah, 2 turnovers in the red zone for one of the best red zone teams we've ever seen, as long as Andy Reid's been there.
Yes, and Chiefs fans are going to start doubting Travis Kelce, Dan. If they lose a couple of more games, they're going to start to say that Travis Kelce is not as focused as he's been in years past. He is more focused on his relationship with Taylor Swift. He is more focused on doing his podcast with Jason Kelce. I'll get to him in just a second. Dan, I'm telling you it's coming. Chiefs fans are going to come down on him on sports radio. I am telling you right now, because he's not as focused as he's been in years past. And because he's not focused and he's one of the leaders of the team, the captains of the team, everyone's going to criticize him and say, where's your focus? You've lost your focus. And they're going to start getting mad at Travis Kelce.
Perfect. Thank you for the support.
Thank you for doing it.
No,
Well, he said what you were going to do, though. He predicted you. The Chiefs are 3-0, by the way. God help them if they start losing.
A shaky 3-0.
Shaky.
According to Dan, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, when I talk about optics, okay, there's no question that Travis Kelce filmed this horror movie months ago before the season started. No question about that. But it's coming out now. The ads are appearing now, and so the optic is you have a tight end who's struggling, appearing in a horror movie. What the hell's going on?
You're suggesting that the American audience can't piece together that he filmed this before the season?
I think that the optics are bad. That's all.
It was so weird to see Travis Kelce as the only person in the football sphere traveling this offseason.
It's wild. I didn't know.
Everybody else was in a hermetically sealed gym working out 20 hours a day.
And
to Mike's point.
By the way, that UFC T-shirt, that logo looks like a ripoff of Wu-Tang Clan. I'm just going to make that allegation right now.
It's a Pegasus.
It's a Pegasus.
And it's UCF night.
Okay,
the Ultimate Fighting
Odd place to go. But
compare the two logos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compare the two
Put those
logos.
next to each other. Radio team, get on
Here's
it.
what else is bad
Feedback,
with optics.
receipt.
hold on, he has something else.
Jeremy,
ahead.
get out of the way.
Yeah,
He's rolling.
go to
Get
Greg.
out of the way.
Jeremy's got a banger
Optics.
stat.
He doesn't.
Optics
I know,
part
I know,
two.
but he doesn't care. He doesn't see that Jeremy's trying to talk.
It's
he,
fine.
He
Doesn't
doesn't.
care.
He doesn't
Right.
pay attention to what's happening around
It's
him.
Tuesday. It's his day.
Greg,
Optics,
go
second
ahead.
point.
Continue
Yeah.
your point.
I was just going to say another. Speaking of bad optics, somebody brought that up. Another
did.
bad optic is the fact that every home game, there's Taylor Swift in the press box, and the over under
Why is that bad
the
optics?
over under on shots
man
of her.
speak. Yeah.
The over under on shots of her in a suite has to be 9.5.
Okay.
They're constantly going to her,
Great.
and it's a reminder. It's a constant pound you over the head reminder that Travis Kelce. How can he be concentrating on football? Look who his girlfriend is. Only the most famous woman in the world.
He's playing football at the time that they're showing her, but
Yeah,
okay.
and catching 2 passes for 11 yards.
Jeremy, you were saying?
At the end of last season, his final 3 games were 5 catches for 28 yards, 5 catches for 44 yards, 3 for 16 yards. This year, it's 3 for 34, 1 for 5, and 4 for 30. Just in between that, in the playoffs, 7 for 71, 5 for 75 and 2 touchdowns, 11 for 116 and a touchdown, and 9 for 93.
Sure. What have you done lately?
He did it in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, do it now.